Every single day, 2.5 quintillion bytes of data are created. That's a number so large most people can't even picture it. And yet most businesses are drowning in that data without actually using it. Today, we're going to change that. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to understand exactly how modern organizations manage their data, why information systems are the backbone of every smart business decision, and what strategies separate companies that thrive from companies that just survive. Let's get into it. Section 1. What is data management and why does it matter? Think about the last time you searched for something on Amazon and it recommended exactly what you were looking for. That wasn't magic. That was data management working perfectly behind the scenes. Data management is the process of collecting, storing, organizing, and maintaining data so that it can be used effectively. But here's the thing most people miss. Data by itself is worthless. Raw numbers, names, transactions, clicks. None of that means anything until it's organized and interpreted. That's when it becomes information. And information is what people actually use to make decisions. Organizations deal with data at every level. A cashier scanning a barcode, a doctor recording a diagnosis, a teacher entering a grade. All of that is data being captured. The question is, what happens next? Does it just sit somewhere collecting digital dust? Or does someone use it to improve operations, serve customers better, or cut costs? Good data management answers that question with a clear system. It sets rules for how data is captured, cleaned, stored, and accessed. And when done right, it turns a chaotic pile of numbers into a competitive advantage. So if data management is the foundation, what does it actually sit on? That's where databases come in, and that's exactly what we're covering next. Section 2. Databases and database management systems. A database is exactly what it sounds like, an organized collection of data. But the real power isn't in storing the data, it's in being able to retrieve and use it instantly. That's where a database management system, or DBMS, comes in. Think of the database as a library, and the DBMS as the librarian. The librarian knows where everything is, who can access it, and how to find exactly what you need in seconds. The most common type is called a relational database. Instead of storing everything in one giant messy table, a relational database breaks information into separate related tables. A customer table, an orders table, a products table. Each one connects to the others through unique identifiers called keys. This structure makes it incredibly efficient to query specific information without sorting through everything else. SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language, is the language used to communicate with most of these databases. When you ask a system to show me all customers who bought something in the last 30 days, SQL is doing that work behind the scenes. Now, not all data fits neatly into rows and columns. Social media posts, images, and sensor readings don't have a fixed structure. That's where NoSQL databases come in, designed specifically to handle unstructured or semi-structured data at massive scale. Understanding the difference between these systems helps businesses choose the right tool for the right job. But having the right tool is only half the equation. How you actually use that tool in a business context. That's where strategy comes in, and we're getting there right now. Section 3. Information Systems and Business Strategy. Here's a question worth sitting with. Why do some companies seem to always make the right call, while others are constantly playing catch-up? A huge part of the answer is how they use information systems. An information system isn't just software. It's the combination of people, processes, data, and technology working together to support decision-making and achieve business goals. There are different types of information systems designed for different levels of an organization. Transaction processing systems handle the everyday operations, recording sales, tracking inventory, processing payments. These are the systems keeping the lights on. Then there are management information systems, which take that operational data and turn it into reports that help middle managers track performance and identify trends. One level above that, decision support systems help senior leaders analyze complex problems and evaluate different scenarios before making big calls. And at the very top, executive information systems provide high-level dashboards that give leaders a real-time view of how the whole organization is performing. Each layer feeds information upward, creating a connected intelligence network inside the business. Companies that align these systems with their overall strategy don't just react to the market, they anticipate it. But knowing you need these systems isn't enough. You also need to know what to do with the data inside them, and that leads us straight to data warehousing and analytics. Section 4. Data warehousing and business intelligence. Imagine trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is spread across 20 different barns, in different cities, owned by different people. That's what it's like for large companies trying to analyze data when it's scattered across multiple systems. A data warehouse solves that problem. It's a centralized repository that pulls data from multiple sources, cleans it, organizes it, and stores it specifically for analysis. Unlike a regular operational database that's built for speed, a data warehouse is built for depth. It's designed to answer big questions over long time periods. Business intelligence, or BI, is what you do with that warehouse. BI tools help organizations visualize data, spot patterns, and generate insights through reports and dashboards. Instead of a manager waiting 2 weeks for a report from IT, they can log into a BI dashboard and see exactly what's happening right now. One powerful technique used in BI is called data mining, the process of discovering hidden patterns in large datasets. Retailers use it to predict what customers will buy next. Banks use it to detect fraud. Healthcare systems use it to identify patients at risk before symptoms even appear. This is where data management stops being an IT conversation and starts being a business conversation, because the insights coming out of these systems directly influence strategy, investment, and growth. Which brings us to the final piece, making sure all of this is secure and governed correctly. Section 5. Data governance, security, and ethical responsibility. In 2017, a massive data breach at Equifax exposed the personal information of 147 million people. The cost? Over $700 million in settlements alone. And the damage to trust? Immeasurable. Data governance is the framework that prevents situations like that. It defines who owns the data, who can access it, how long it's kept, and what standards it must meet. Think of it as the rulebook that keeps data management honest and accountable. Security is a core part of governance. Encryption, access controls, regular audits, and incident response plans aren't optional. They're essential. As cyber threats grow more sophisticated, the organizations that treat security as a strategic priority will always be better positioned than those who treat it as an afterthought. But beyond security, there's an ethical dimension. Data contains information about real people. How that data is used, especially with the rise of artificial intelligence, raises serious questions about privacy, bias, and fairness. Responsible data management means asking not just what you can do with data, but what you should do. Companies that build trust through transparent data practices don't just stay out of trouble. They build loyal customers and stronger reputations. That trust becomes a competitive advantage in itself. Now you've seen the full picture. From the basics of data management, to databases, to business strategy, to intelligence, to governance, every layer builds on the one before it. Organizations that master all 5 levels don't just manage data, they turn it into power. If this video helped you connect those dots, hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps more students find this content. Subscribe if you want to keep building your knowledge base like this, one chapter at a time. And drop a comment below with a question or topic you want us to break down next. We read every single one. See you in the next one.